can you cook a whole chicken in the Instant Pot Mini 4-quart? Yes, you can. And today I'm going to show you how to do it and also why you should do it, even if you're just cooking for 1 or 2. So let's do it. Now, I'm a really big fan of cooking with whole chickens because it can get you lots of meals. It's really flexible. Cooking with the whole bird is so much cheaper than buying chicken portions, and it gives us a bonus because we can make our own stock with the carcasses too. And if we've not met before, I'm Susan from Cooking and Calm, and here we're all about finding ways to eat well, save time, and keep it a bit calm in the kitchen and in life where we can. And cooking a whole chicken is a great way of getting ahead. And today I'm going to be cooking up a small chicken that's 1.3 kilo, and we're going to keep it really simple. There's lots of fancy things you can do with a chicken in an Instant Pot, but as we come into the warmer weather, what I'm looking to do is to get ahead and get some beautiful shreddable chicken into the fridge for quick and easy meals in the week. But first we've got to cook it up. So first we're going to prep our chicken, and the flavours we're using today are rosemary, garlic and lemon, and that's going to give us a lovely flavoursome chicken but also quite neutral. So if I want to use this for a stir fry, or I want to make a burrito bowl, or I want to make some tacos, it's nice and flexible and we can use it in any of those dishes. Now we're going to be using olive oil for the liquid, and then I'm just chopping up some rosemary, grating in some lemon zest and some garlic and giving that a good stir. And that's given us our seasoning, and we're going to put this under the skin to give some extra flavourings to the chicken. Now, if you are a bit squeamish about handling chicken, you might want to skip forward a little bit on this bit, because what we're going to do is to take up some of this skin and get some of our lovely herby lemon flavouring under the skin and onto the chicken breast directly. So if you've not done this before, it's quite easy often with chickens to just kind of lift up the skin so that you can get your flavourings in there. And if you don't want to do it with your fingers, you can use a wooden spoon. Make sure to wash it afterwards. And it's kind of blunt, so it makes it easy to make a little bit of space there so that we can get our flavourings down there. Now I get that into the sink. I'm going to get some of my flavourings here onto a silicone brush and just get those inside a little bit. Ooh, it smells gorgeous. Garlic and rosemary, best friends. So I'm hoping you can kind of see this. Doesn't matter if it gets on the outside. Same on the other side. And you can use a herb butter for this, but I'm using olive oil. I don't eat much butter now, delicious as it is. There we go. And we've also got salt and pepper, of course, in there. Make sure that oil has got in all the crevices. Pull that skin back over. And now I'm just going to half a lemon. I'm going to put that inside the cavity. And we're going to put some fresh rosemary in there too. And as it's pressure cooking, all the rosemary kind of aromas are going to come out. Now, if I was going to serve this as a roast chicken, I'd either brown it off in some oil before I do the rest of the prep, or I'd brown it afterwards. But I'm not going to be browning this whole chicken today. And that means when it comes out, it's going to look a little bit pasty. And because we eat with our eyes, one thing I really like to do is to just give the outside of the chicken just a little bit of colour by adding some smoked paprika to the skin. So if you find you don't like the look of the chicken when it comes out, just use this little trick that lots of people do. Turmeric is another thing that people do. And then wash our hands again. And now just a bit of a seasoning with black pepper. So we're going to pressure cook this little chicken. So as ever, what we need to start with is some water in the inner liner. And if I was going to make a sauce, I might use stock in the bottom. But for today, remember, we're keeping it simple. So I'm going to put 1 cup of water in the Instant Pot. Now, you might be thinking, well, that isn't the minimum amount of water, which is 375 mils, 1.5 cups for this one. But you can trust that I've tested this, and 1 cup is enough. We're not putting anything else in the water. It's pure water, if you like, and the chicken is also going to give out some liquid, so it works great. And here's a tip. I'm going to use the trivet that comes with the Instant Pot, and this is going to make it a lot easier to get your chicken out of the Instant Pot once it's done. But if your chicken's a bit too tall, you can just put it straight in the pot. So we get that onto the trivet so that the handles are either side of the chicken. That makes it really easy to move it around in there to get it out. And what we want to do is to make sure that the highest bit of the chicken isn't going to be where we have that pressure mechanism. And wash my hands again. I'm going to get the lowest part of the chicken that's furthest away, so nothing is inhibiting this pressure mechanism here. So as we put that on, no pressure, I can tell it's not touching. That's what we are after. But wait a minute, we want to save some energy, don't we? So what I'm going to do is just cook something a little extra with this chicken. Save me a bit of time later and also a whole load of energy. And what I'm going to do is just put in a little few, we call these new potatoes, the waxy kind. It must be these, because if it's the floury kind of potatoes, they'll just melt away in this cooking time. But if you use some of these new potatoes, you can fit a few in, even in the mini, and then they're all ready to also go into the fridge. And for us, I'll be making these into some potato salad later. Why not use the space we have? And that's it. So all we need to do now is get that lid on. And I'm going to cook this for 20 minutes on pressure cook. And this is where you can go off and do whatever else you need to do in your life instead. Leave the Instant Pot to do the work. See you later. So here we are at the end of the 20 minutes cooking time and 10 minutes natural release. Let's let the rest of the pressure out. Now we know we are safe to take off the lid. Oh, it's looking good. And looking for 74, yeah. So we're all done. Let's get all of this out of the pot, starting with the potatoes. All in one pot, real energy saver. Okay, so let's get our chicken out. Now look at that beautiful chicken, straight out of the Instant Pot mini. And I'm going to save this lovely chickeny liquid to add as a simple stock to something later. And that's not all. There's one final thing this little cook-up will give us, and we'll come on to that in a minute. So let's get the Instant Pot out of the way for now, and let's have a look at this chicken. Okay, so let's take off these legs. See how moist they are, absolutely gorgeous. Just twist off and over there they go. So now you can see that beautiful chicken. And chicken that's been cooked in the Instant Pot like this is so shreddable. You don't need your KitchenAid, you don't need any fancy things to get it shredded. You can just use 2 forks. Super simple. Let me get out of the sun and have a little taste. It's just really chickeny. It's so good. Often I'll find with leg meat, it's kind of clinging to the bone, gone a bit rubbery, overcooked, undercooked. But when you do it in the Instant Pot like this, under pressure, it just falls off the bone. Everything is moist, everything is cooked through. I don't need to check it really carefully. It is just infused with flavour from those lovely herbs. Gorgeous. So here's what we've got out of that simple little cook. We have got some chunky and sliced white meat, some shredded dark meat. We've also got some new potatoes. They can be warmed up, put in any dish you like, put in the air fryer, or in my case, I'm making these into a potato salad because it's a lovely warm day here. And then finally, and don't throw these away, we have also got the chicken carcass left over. And it may not be the most beautiful thing in the world, but once this is fully cooled, this will go in the freezer in a bag with one that I've already got in there, and then I will use it to make some amazing chicken stock. And once you've had Instant Pot chicken stock, that is definitely going to convince you to use the whole chicken. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps YouTube know that I'm trying to be a helpful human, and I'll see you in the next video.